And we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday night for another sacred pipe ceremony. Come on in, make yourself comfortable. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and I am just getting set up. First thing I need to get is my phone holder. And I can set you down and get the rest of my altar set up. Welcome. We're going to do pipe ceremony tonight as we do every Wednesday night. This is really one of my highlights of my week. I so enjoy sharing this most sacred and profound ceremony with other people. And we're in my office because it's a little wet and cold and dark outside at the moment. Sometime this winter I might do one outside, maybe get a fire started on the beach and do pipe ceremony there. That would be very cool. Maybe Christmas or winter solstice-ish. We'll see. Anyway, for the time being, we got the virtual fireplace going. So, getting warm by the fire. And in case you have not been to a pipe ceremony before, I will introduce it to you as I am setting up my altar. So the pipe, there's many tribes that have their own form of sacred pipes, etc. I don't know much about those ones, but I was taught in the Lakota tradition. And the story, according to the Lakota tradition, is that about 19 generations ago, White Buffalo Calf Woman appeared and brought the sacred pipe to the people. And it was a time of drought and hunger. The game was scarce, and the tribe was bickering and kind of uneasy, and so the chief sent out his two best scouts, and when they were out a couple of days, they noticed something coming across the prairie toward them. And at first it was a white buffalo calf. And as it got closer to them, it transformed into a beautiful woman. And she was dressed in white buckskin with fringe and beadwork. And let's see here. And she came up, and one of the scouts got rather lustful ideas, and she, being able to read their thoughts, when she got up to them, waved him close, and as he approached her, they were enveloped by like a whirlwind of dust and smoke, and it only lasted a minute or two before the whirlwind dispersed. But when it did, there was White Buffalo Calf Woman by herself, standing there, and the bones of the first scout were at her feet, and they were bleached white as if they had been there for years. what did I do with my... Okay. Sorry, I'm having a little... I misplaced something. Okay, where did it go? Huh, interesting. Anyway, then she waved the second scout to her, and he was a little afraid, but she assured him that he was pure of heart, so he had nothing to worry about. And she told him to return to the chief and tell the chief that she was coming to prepare a lodge for her. And so that second scout ran back to the tribe, back to the chief, and told him exactly what had happened. And the chief had everyone strike their own lodges, and they combined them all together into one great lodge that the entire tribe could fit in. And then they waited, and about 3 days later, White Buffalo Calf Woman appeared. She walked into the lodge, and she walked around the perimeter of the lodge 7 times, saying prayers and singing. And then she stopped in front of the chief, and in her hand she had a bundle wrapped in leather, and she gave it to the chief, and when he unwrapped it, there was the first sacred pipe, or peace pipe, you might have heard it called. And she spent time with them, taught them how to smoke the pipe in a sacred manner, and she gave them a total of 7 ceremonies, which the pipe was always the center of it. The pipe is like the most sacred medicine object, and they would everything else was centered around the pipe, because the pipe basically is the stem is the divine masculine, and the bowl is the divine feminine. So when we put it together, it's all of creation, all the seeming duality as one. So we're basically holding the cosmos in our hands. And when we put the pipe together, until we take it apart, is one big giant prayer. Because the pipe, when we put it together, it opens a channel straight to Creator. And so anything we think or pray or intentions we set get straight to Creator without any interference or resistance. It's just straight there. So that is how powerful this ceremony is. I'm still looking for my smudge bowl is missing. I don't know if it fell out on the way up here. Okay. Anyway, fortunately I have a second one, which Shaman doesn't have a backup smudge bowl. So anyway, so thank you for joining me. That is what we are doing tonight, bringing that beautiful ceremony into our modern lives to apply, these traditions. Traditions are meant to evolve. Traditions are meant to be stepping off places for us to create our own traditions. And so it's important to honor the ancestors, to honor the ways of the ancestors, to honor the old traditions. But the ancestors didn't want us to just blindly follow like just the words or the letters of what they were doing. They want the same connection to spirit, to creator, that they experienced, and through which they created traditions that spoke to them and helped them to become closer in their relationship with creator. That same energy is available to us. And so it's up to us to take those traditions and to learn from our ancestors, not what to do, but how to do it, if that makes sense. Kind of like in school, we want to teach our kids how to think, not what to think. And so it's like taking the same spirit of the traditions that came before us, using those, rather than being informational, taking the information and leaving it at that, because information is just up here. This is where the true heart of tradition is. And we can honor there are things in ceremony that are essential, and then there are things in ceremony that is like, the only thing I can think of is to say is frosting. I don't mean that in a dismissive way, but there are certain pillars that need to exist in a ceremony, and then everything else is up for interpretation and for bringing to the ceremony what is important for us, our own personal mythology, or our community's mythology, because that is more important than following ways that no longer suit our lives. Traditions are meant to serve the people, and if they're no longer serving us, if they're no longer relatable, then they are pointless. And so we take the old traditions, the old wisdoms of our ancestors, and we use them as an example of how to relate to the world, how to relate to nature, to the spirits, to the ancestors, and then we create our own traditions out of that, using the ancestral traditions for the roots of our tree as we grow and expand and reach toward the stars. So this is the ceremony that I was taught. I have adjusted it in a couple of ways to make it more pertinent and meaningful to me. And I hope you find it relatable and that it brings you peace. And that's really the purpose here. I'm doing this. I started doing this every week since the beginning of the pandemic, to give the community a space and a time to let go of the world, to breathe, and to just connect to spirit. Nothing else exists in this circle but us and spirit. So, and speaking of circle, I should probably set our sacred space. And when I say that, what I'm doing is drumming and calling the spirits and the elements to hold space around us. And when I'm doing this, it's not just for me here. If you're watching this, that space is created around you as well. And it puts us into basically the same virtual space as if you were sitting here with me in this room. So. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, the spirits of the land, feels so much better in sacred space. All right, so again, thank you for joining me. It means the world to me that you are here. Even if you're watching this in repeat years from now, your energy is still a vital part of what happens here tonight. And so thank you for your presence. Thank you for your energy. There is no way to passively watch this. If you're watching it, you are affecting it, right? It's like even in quantum physics, they talk about how there is no separation between the observer and the experiment. That it's the observer that dictates the outcome. And so if you're just watching this, that's fine, and you can just watch. There is no obligation for anything. But know that just by your presence here, your energy is part of the energy of this circle. So thank you for that. All right, so what it is going to look like, first thing I'm going to do is going to light some sage. I'm going to smudge everything here on my altar that I set up in front of me. Then I'm going to say a prayer and ask permission to smoke in this place at this time. And then, guessing that the answer will be yes, I will put the pipe together, and then I will put 4 pinches of tobacco into the bowl. And it's just tobacco, nothing else. I have a friend who's also a pipe carrier, and one of these days she's going to teach me how she makes her own mixture, her own smoke blend. And I'm really looking forward to that, like learning how to harvest the different plants and to create a mixture for the pipe. But anyway, for now it's just tobacco, and that part I do out loud. So you'll hear me saying prayers and offering, so you'll know kind of what's going on there. Then I have a song that my guides, White Buffalo Calf Woman, and my guides have asked me to sing before every ceremony. So I will sing that once I have the pipe together and filled. And then I'm going to light the pipe. And the first thing I'm going to do, and this part is all silent, so but you'll see me taking a puff of smoke, offering the pipe to a certain direction, and blowing a breath blessing, a smoke blessing to that direction. That's kind of the way we kind of invoke the different directions, and then Father Sky, Mother Earth, in a circle for all our relations, and then straight up for Creator. Then I'm going to pause with the stem to my forehead and the bowl to my heart for a silent prayer. And when I'm done with that, I will probably have to relight the pipe. And then I will take a great big puff of smoke, and I'm going to blow it straight at my camera. And that is the point where you want to say your biggest, bestest prayer, or set your biggest, bestest intention. Because that is a blessing coming through from my heart, through the smoke, through my camera, and the magic of the internet and the holographic universe is coming through whatever device you're watching this on to your heart. And like I said, when we put the pipe together, it creates that channel that goes straight to Creator. When we put it together, actually, Creator is present here. It's actually not going anywhere because the divine is present with us. Then I will continue to blow some breath blessings, setting intentions and praying for people and things that people have asked me to, and some of my own prayers. I might sit momentarily in meditation with a pipe on my lap, then go back to smoking some more. And then when it feels like the energy is complete and all the prayers have been offered, I will say another prayer, I will sing another song, and then I will take the pipe apart. And that will be technically the end of the pipe ceremony section. But even after I do that, we're still in sacred space, which means we're still in ceremony. And at that point, depending on time and energy, I usually have some words that come out. I don't know where they come from, but they just kind of spill out of my mouth. And sometimes they're pretty useful, so I hope you will stick around after that. And then once I have tapped that well and nothing else is coming through, it feels complete, then we will close our sacred space, and I will bid you adieu for another week. Yeah, so that is what we are doing. So let's do it then, all right? Let's do ceremony. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. Grandmother, grandfather, eagle, we send a voice. We ask permission to smoke in this place at this time. All our guides and guardians watch over us as we smoke. Creator, Earth Mother, Tawabin, Shonadisi, Majikiwas, and Wabus, there is always room for you in my pipe. Creator, Earth Mother, for the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged, the crawlers and the swimmers, all our relations, come smoke with us. Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Ocean, to the energy of birth, growth, maturity, the spirit realm and our ancestors, may all the passages of our lives be in harmony and grace. Creator, Earth Mother, to eagle, coyote, bear, white buffalo Catwoman, bringer of the pipe and the law of good relations to the people. Okene, Bayama, Okene, Bayama, Okene, Bayama, Okene. Okene, Bayama, Okene, Bayama, Okene, Bayama, Okene. Okene, Bayama, Okene, Bayama, Okene, Bayama, Okene. grandmother, grandfather eagle, we send a prayer, we send a voice. Thank you for our lives. Thank you for this world. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to find our light within the darkness, to focus on that divine spark within us and to see that divine spark in every person we see. Thank you for this beautiful time of the year of quiet, silence, stillness. Help us to find that stillness in the activity. Help us to find that silence in the cacophony. Thank you for who we have been, for who we have become, and for whom we are becoming. Aho. Ihi lai-hi-o, ihi lai-hi-o, ihi lai-hi-o, ihi, ihi, ihi lai-hi-o, ihi lai-hi-o, ihi. Good ceremony. Wow. Powerful. Didn't I say so? Oh my gosh. You know, with it being the season that it is, I love this season. This truly is my favorite time of the year. Most of my friends, either Samhain, Halloween, or Christmas, Yule is their favorites, and this is by far my favorite because it's the time of the year when, at least for myself, speaking for myself, it allows me to be myself without the extra resistance that there might be in the outer world. You know, there's more acceptance for being kind, for being thoughtful, for talking about love and togetherness and unity. And it's like I really, truly carry the spirit of Christmas with me every day of the year. In fact, the song I sang as I was smudging this, everything, Walk in Beauty, that is my mission statement for this lifetime. And everything in that, you know, it's about walking in beauty is about, I forget what tribe that phrase comes from, but it means that everything you do, everything you say, plants seeds of either love or fear in the world, of creation or destruction in the world. And so to walk in beauty is to walk in that place of love where everything you do sends creative, loving, connective ripples out into the world. And that is, in a nutshell, the heart of Christmas, of Yule, right? It's whatever festival of lights that you may or may not observe this season, it all harkens back to when we were so much more connected to the earth and her cycles, and it really is about finding that spark of light, that spark of hope in the darkness, right? Solstice night is the longest night, but then that is the birth of the sun. That is the birth of the light, because then the power of night becomes less and less and less as the power of light grows and grows and grows, right? And so when we were much more connected to the earth, of course, this was the time when there was not as much activity. The fields had already been harvested. All of the foodstuffs had been preserved and put into storage. And so this was a time of solitude, or not solitude, well, it could be solitude. I meant to say community. Getting together with community, spending time in the great hall or the lodge or wherever people gathered, and telling stories and telling jokes and singing songs. One of my favorite books is a book called, I think it's just simply called Frederick. And it's about these mice that are bustling around, making sure they have enough seeds stored away for the winter time, enough food, enough water and everything. Meanwhile, while they're doing this, Frederick, another mouse, is just sitting on a stone with his eyes closed in the sunlight. And they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I am storing up the light of the sun to shine it in the darkness and listening for the stories, etc." And so once their harvest was done, the snows had fallen, it was dark out most of the time, here comes Frederick, and he was able to radiate that light of the sun in the middle of the winter. And he was able to tell stories and to bring the memories of what life is like when the sun is shining, when the air is clear, when the water is flowing, etc. And to help look forward to springtime when that happens again. So it's like that light that carries us through that darkness. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean that the darkness is bad, right? It's not just biding our time until the darkness alleviates, right? There is so much good that happens in the darkness. The darkness, it's the yin-yang, just like when we put the pipe together with the masculine and the feminine, right? The feminine is the darkness. The darkness is the void. It is, the womb of the cosmic mother. And in that womb is the potential of every possible reality, every possible thing, every possible person, every possible scenario, every possible future. And it's by going into that darkness, letting ourselves recuperate, right? That's what, we get, we have every night is a winter, right? It's like a darkness that we get to sleep. And we shut off our outside senses so that we can turn inward and have experiences and process things and nurture that light within us. So that's what we're doing. And for anyone who is an artist like I am, you know the value of silence, of stillness, of the darkness to be the creative. That's where the creativity comes from, right? We go into the darkness and we play with possibilities. We dream about what possibilities there are, what possibilities we want to bring into the light with us when spring comes, right? And for for an artist, it's like that's the downtime, the solitary time to go inward with the darkness, to allow the seeds that were planted to actually germinate, so that come spring and the increasing light and the heat allows those seeds to bloom, right? So there is nothing to fear in the darkness. And I know from personal experience that the darkness of the season can be oppressive. I have that SAD thing as well, that seasonal whatever, and I tend to find myself more depressed or anxious at this time of the year as well. But at the same time, I'm learning to allow myself to feel those things, to allow myself to feel lazy, because it's not really lazy. All of the majority of your energy, rather than going toward fueling activities in the outer world, your energy has gone in. Like the sap of the trees in the wintertime, it pulls in and goes down to the roots. That's what happens at this time of the year. That's why you're so tired more than you usually are. And when we get tired, we get anxious and we get depressed because we think that we're supposed to stay as active as we are in the summertime. But we're not. We are part of the cycles of the earth. We are nature, not just part of nature, right? Earth, air, fire, and water is what makes us up. So everything that occurs on the earth occurs within us as well. There is no separation. Our Mother Earth is us, and we are her. So in other words, give yourself a break. Know that you are not just being lazy, that you are not just procrastinating, that you are working with the energy that is available to you at this time. And it helps me to remember that, because then when I'm like, laying on the couch after watching my, 5th or 6th Christmas movie and like, gosh, I really should be productive today, I remind myself that it's okay to be fallow, right? Even the farmers, they leave their, they rotate their crops, right? And they'll leave a field fallow. In other words, they don't plant in that field. They leave it for a year or something so that the earth can regain the nutrients that the crops took from her. It's the same thing. You are not lazy, you are fallow. You are allowing all the natural nutrients in your own personal soil to regain themselves, to reestablish foundation and stability. And besides that, when you find yourself getting down on yourself or anxious because you're not producing, or depressed because you don't have the energy to do things, that is not your voice that is telling you those things. It might sound like your voice in your head, but that is the voice of all of the society, of all the teachers or parents or authorities, in the madness of society, thinking that we have to be just as busy and productive at this time of the year as we are in the summertime. That is the voice that you're hearing. And it's like a part of us trying to head off punishment or head off being judged. But all it doesn't do you any good. And if it's not doing you good, it is not helping anyone else either. Your only responsibility in this life is to show up. That's it. You are under no other obligation. And that might sound simplistic, but when you show up, when you're present, and you're whole, and you're continuing to do what you need to do to heal and release those things that suppress you or oppress you. When you're present in that way, you become a source of light and a source of energy for the world, rather than constantly taking it from the world, right? The only source, the only origin of your power, of your energy, is Creator. Has nothing to do with anybody else. But we spend our lives thinking we need this person's permission, or we need to do this to atone for something we did over here, whatever it is, and all that does is keeps us suppressed. But when you show up in your wholeness, in your love, in your kindness, that is how we change the world. That is how we heal the world. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. I love that song, and I don't like that song, because in the next line it's like, that's the only thing, that there's just too little of, and there is not too little love. Love is all there is. Love is everything. And when you can open your eyes, open your mind, open your heart to the love that is present, there is never any need for want. Everything you need comes to you, and you are connected and whole. And you don't need to take energy from others or give energy, think you have to give energy to others for them to be well. You are the most important person in your life. No one is more important than you are. No one is more powerful than you are. You are sovereign in your beingness. So be that sovereign light in the darkness. Know that even when you're feeling down, even when you're feeling anxious, even when you're feeling lost, that is all part of the journey. And it's just a matter of shifting that perspective to know that in every moment, you are exactly who you need to be. You are exactly where you need to be. You can't fall off of your path. Every step is on your path, whether it looks like it or not. Your path is whatever is in front of you. And whatever is in front of you has no power. You are so much more powerful than anything that can raise its ugly head in front of you. Especially if you have the presence to face it. Anything you can face, you can overcome. And those things are actually gifts that the universe knows what we can handle. The universe knows where we are on our journey, where we are in our frequency. And so what you find in your life is custom made for you. And if it's showing up in your life, then you have automatically the power to overcome it, to go through it. Whatever is needed, whatever healing is needed, whatever balance is needed, you have that within you to do, okay? I was kind of bummed I forgot my Santa hat this morning, but I actually did a shamanic journey to Santa last year or the year before, and I asked Santa Claus, how could something like Christmas or him that is so universally benevolent have been turned into, again, that duality of good and bad, naughty and nice, and judgment, and he was like, it was never meant to be judgment. It's kind of like, he kind of laughed, he was like, it's kind of the same thing with Christianity, right? What Jesus was really talking about is not what most people enact. But he said that, he's not the one that makes wishes come true. That is basic law of attraction. And if you believe in the magic of Christmas, if you believe in the magic of the universe, your dreams will come true. You will get gifts. You will get miracles. They will come to you. But they're coming to you because of who you are and what you believe. If you are not in that vibe of seeing the magic, seeing the connection, knowing your power, then you might get coal, metaphorically, as a gift. But it's not a punishment. What is coal? Coal is fuel. You're being given the gift to fuel that inner light, to bring that spark to life, to allow it to raise your frequency by enlivening your passions, enlivening who you are, bringing that light from inside out, right? And so it is not duality, it is not a punishment. You have the power to raise your own frequency, to become the best possible version of yourself. You know, and right now is perfect. We're at the dark moon, we're at the new moon, and so from here, for the next 2 weeks, that power is waxing and growing. So now is the time to set those intentions for what you want to find, because again, we are part of the cycles of the earth, and as the cycle of the moon ramps up, so does our own personal power, and it will boost your miracles. So I think that's all I had to say for tonight. Thank you again for joining me. I love this hour or so every week. I hope you will share this video if you know people that might get something out of it, might need a bit of stillness and silence. Know that I am your friendly neighborhood shaman. I am here to help if I can, to support you in whatever path you are on. You can visit my website, perchingwolfstudios.net, and you can see what are the different services, shamanic services I offer. Healings and readings and teachings. I'm doing a lot of mentoring these days, one-on-one, helping people to find their spiritual path, their shamanic path, and whatever else I can do, I am here to support my community. So let me help you, help me, help you. And so please share this video. You can tag people in the comments, share it to someone else's page or whatever. And if you feel like you've gotten something out of this and you would like to return more, I have my PayPal and Venmo links pinned to the top of the comments here, and I will have those in the description when I share this video to my Facebook page, and when I'm also going to upload it to my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel. So please subscribe to that. There you have access to like 4 years worth of these videos, and videos of readings and songs and stories and all kinds of stuff. And I have plans for more and more this coming year. Actually excited about some of the things I have in mind, so stay tuned for all of that. And I think that's it for right now. So let us release the spirits and the elements who so lovingly held space for us tonight. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Our work for now is done, but you are always welcome in our circles. Oh. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sharing in this most sacred ceremony. I hope you benefited from it. I hope you got something out of it, even if it was just a moment of serenity, a moment of peace. I hope to see you back again next week. Invite your friends. And until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and go shining. Bye.